Meowdy gays and ghouls, did you know before paint tubes were invented, artists used pig bladders to store their paint? Anyway, speaking of artists, we're doing a very special stream today. I've been thinking about this stream for so incredibly long, and at first it wasn't even going to be a stream. It was just going to be a video that I would edit down and kind of do like a how-to tutorial sort of thing, advice video sort of deal. But I thought it would work better as a stream because then people can ask questions during each topic that I talk about. So what we're going to be doing is a thing that I've been calling Commission Boot Camp. What that means is I go through all the ins and outs of what you should be doing, what level of professionalism you should have while you are taking commissions. And the reason I want to do this stream now is the thing that made me cave, basically, is I, time and time again, constantly have been seeing artists who take people's money, do maybe one work in progress, then ghost their clients, and get away with it constantly. And it's driving me insane, y'all. It's driving me up the wall. And so, a lot of this is just coming from a place of inexperience and I'd say like ignorance, and not necessarily like artists actually trying to scam people, but kind of unintentionally doing so. And you guys, this has to stop. So here I am to educate you all about how to take commissions. How to take commissions, how to get started, how to price your stuff, etc., etc., etc. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a business professional. I've never taken like classes on business or anything. This is purely from me having experience taking commissions for about 12 years. And more recently, the past 4 years, I have been doing it as my main source of income. So, I am speaking from experience. I have done stupid things. I have had not so great clients, which we're also going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of being a client, of commissioning people, not just taking commissions, of commissioning people. And I also think just the advice on how to take commissions will be helpful for clients or people intending on commissioning people. Like if you're in the market for commissioning people, this is the level of professionalism you should be looking for. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I have a whole document and a whole presentation, a whole lesson plan planned out, and it's going to be exciting, and we're going to learn, and it's going to be great, and you guys are going to like it, I hope. But I hope everybody is well. I hope we're all doing good. But at any point, if anybody has any questions about what I am talking about, yeah, Cass, Bongo. If anybody has any questions at any point about what I am talking about, if it's relevant to what we're talking about, it would help, depending on how active the chat is, to highlight your message. And then I am pretty much guaranteed to see it. And it's pretty cheap to highlight your message. It's like 100 channel points. So, without further ado, let us begin. I'm kind of scared because I have a whole script written out and I've had it for like ever. And I've been editing it and fixing it and all that jazz. But how's the music compared to my voice before we begin? Because I want this to be good. This needs to be good. It's got to be great. Got this to be perfect. I've had this in my mind for fucking years. But just let me know. Level's good? Alright, cool. I'm playing tutorial music, so I hope that's helpful for everybody. So, what I have right here is a Clip Studio Paint document full of layers over here. You can see to the side. I don't have my tablet up because I'm not going to do too much drawing. I'm going to do a little like circling and crossing out and stuff, but it's mostly like a fake PowerPoint presentation, so no tablet out for me, even though I'm going to be using it technically. So, how many bodies? How many people in the chat? How many people in the chat? Are artists, and how many people? Okay, how many people commission people for art? Have done it before in the chat? Show of hands. Show of hands. Cass? All right, cool. I don't know if you're responding to the artist or the or the commissioning, but either one, honestly. Scully, hello, Scully. I like that I'm dancing to the Terran. I'm pretty sure that's Terran, but yeah, nice. So this information will at least be useful to you two, and that makes me happy. Also, Shibinu, I forgot to say hello to you. Nice wiggle. Love it. Serial commissioner, I may have a problem. That is okay. That is okay. One other reason that I really wanted to do this stream is because every time I bring this topic up where I'm like, there are too many artists that ghost clients, and it drives me insane because people will be out like $300, $400, sometimes $2,000, up to $2,000, and their artist just ghosted them. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know if you've had this experience, Scully. I think you might have lost a fair bit. See, here's the thing. Before we get into this, here's the thing. I don't commission people very often. I probably should. But one of the reasons I don't commission people very often is because the few times I have, I've either been ghosted, or I'll ask about commissions and be like, okay, this is the commission I want. This is the piece I want. I'll describe the piece, and they're like, dude, that sounds awesome. And they never follow up with me. And I'm just kind of like, really? Probably to the tune of $500 now. See, that's unacceptable. See, the thing is, like, I specifically see this with the furry fandom. Because that's the fandom I'm in. That's the one I do art for. I specifically see this with the furry fandom. The furry fandom is incredibly respectful to artists, but I think we're too tolerant. I think too many people are too tolerant of too much bullshit. I do see like a beware artist thing like come out every so often, which is great, and I think we should start normalizing calling artists the fuck out when they don't stick to, like, you know, giving people the product they paid for. I really think we should start, like, holding more artists to, like, deadlines and stuff. I think we need to start holding artists to a certain level of professionalism that, like, we need to start expecting professionalism from people that we are giving money to, because it's a profession then. When you are taking money from somebody, you should be giving them a product in return. That's just how it is. Or you should at least keep communication open so they know that something is being made. That they, like, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a whole presentation prepared. Kitsune, hello. This is why I'm scared of commissioning people I or my friends don't know personally. Exactly. The funny thing is, funny you bring that up, most of the time, I am commissioning friends. See, the thing is with a lot of, like, friends, it's like, they will tell me straight up, it's gonna take a while, and I'm like, dude, take your time, just as long as you, like, let me know every so often, hey, here's a thing that's happening with your commission, I'll be Gucci. But, yeah. Okay. Now for real, let's begin. So, let me get my script up. There we go. I have a few questions, like, littered throughout this from one specific person who is an artist. Sent me a lot of really good questions that I kind of peppered throughout this presentation and put a little bit more focus on. So thank you, Cotton Canada, for your questions. These are going to really help flesh out this presentation. Now, something we're going to be going back to during this stream is what I am calling the 4 C's of commissioning. Lovely, lovely Comic Sans in beautiful rainbow colors. Gay pride. Pride. Diversity win. The 4 C's of commissioning. Can anybody in the chat guess any one of these C's? Because I'm curious to know. Janie, hello. Gay rights. Diversity win. There are 4 C's. Commissions. Commissions is one of the C's. Nah, that's actually not one of them. Communicate. Cass, you're my best friend right now. That's one of them. That's actually one of them. We will get to that one because that's the most important one in my opinion. Cat, that should be one. That's a runner-up. That's a runner-up. Is it plus? No. Hey, Blim. All the C's stand for Comic Sans. You're right, Thursday. You're right. All right. So these are the 4 C's, and we're going to go back to this every so often once I touch on each of these C's. So, what we're going to start with is how do you start? How do you start out with getting people to notice your commissions? Now, before we even get to the commission part, how do you start out in general? How do you just start out? Because, let's see. Yes, we have the Comic Sans. There it is. It's beautiful, isn't it? This is imperative for a PowerPoint business presentation. Create, that's a good guess. Cost, that's also a good guess. But nah, we'll get there. Starting off is always a little rocky. Don't be discouraged. If people won't commission you right off the bat, even if your commissions are incredibly cheap. And now, nobody gets cheap for one of the C's, because contrary to popular belief, that is not one of the strategies to becoming a successful commissioner. And I'll get back on that. I'll tell you why. But a good way to start with commissions in general is try out Your Character Hears. Now, if you don't know what a Your Character Here is, here we go. I'll draw you a little Your Character here, over here. Is you just draw a character and a little pose. Just any little pose. Yay. And this kind of like eliminates the choice factor for your clients, which can be pretty stressful for some people. They just see pretty much what they want right out the gate, and then they're like, oh cool, my character would look cool in that pose. And that can take off a lot of stress from both you and the clients. And so definitely doing like Your Character Hears, especially like themed Your Character Hears. So during the summer, doing something like a character sitting on like a beach chair with an umbrella can be really cute, and people could really want that. So that is a good option to start out. Now, again, consistency is a good one. It should be the 5 C's. You don't want to be too gooey or weird and crunchy. That should be a C, shouldn't it? So, one good way to start out is definitely Your Character Hears. Your Character Here commissions. See, this takes off stress from the client, because the client doesn't have to like decide on a pose or decide on a theme or anything. They can just look at something, like it, and then want their character in that position. So that also takes a lot of stress off the artist, because you already have the pose, you already have the expression sometimes, you already have the theme. So all you really have to do is pretty much draw a character over it. It's a lot easier for you. And because of that, because you already put in like half the work, you can charge less for these commissions and get them out like really fast. Now, again, don't be discouraged if people aren't going to get these Your Character Hears right away. This is just a good way to like break the barrier, right? Is client one of the C's? Nah. I do like you guys guessing all of these C's. Communicate is one of them though. Communication. Another good way to start. This is important, and also you can tell I have ADHD with this presentation, is, you gotta make a name for yourself. That is really important. A lot of people, like, don't know kind of, like, how to identify themselves on the internet. And, you really just have to, like, fit into a niche of some sort. Post art somewhat regularly, or even have a backlog of art that you can post. Or if you don't have any new art to post, don't be afraid to share older stuff or retweet, like, or reblog wherever you're at. Connections. Janie got one. 2 of the C's. You're getting there. We're actually coming up on that. So yeah. Cookie for Janie. So in order to make a name for yourself, you really just have to consistently post art. Now, a lot of the time I see people saying, you need to make an art blog that is just art. You can do that. You can totally do that because it's a lot easier to, like, when people are asking about your art, you can just link them to a certain, like, Twitter, or you can make your own website, or you can make a Tumblr with a portfolio sort of layout or something, because Tumblr is a lot more versatile like that. So it is good, it is nice to have a page that is purely your art. Now, when people are, like, scouting out artists for projects and they just find your personal Twitter, they're not gonna be like, "Ah," because you don't have just art and you're, like, retweeting shit. They know it's Twitter, and they will find, like, if you have a portfolio link or something instead. So that is one thing that, like, people say a lot, and it's like, no, nobody's gonna judge you if they find your personal Twitter. They know it's your personal Twitter. They'll just find a portfolio link. Just as long as you have some sort of portfolio link, that's nice. Crunchy, crispy, craggy, and cranky. Oh my goodness. But let me find my place. But yeah, that is the thing. Post regularly. If you don't have a thing to post, if you're not posting in a while, just reblog something. Just retweet something. Just repost something. It's your Twitter, it's your blog, it's your whatever. Just post regularly so your name is out there. Post different time zones. Post all the time. Just all the fucking time. You just gotta post. Post. Now, this is an important thing. You don't want to just post for the sake of posting. You don't want to be like, oh god, I gotta get my post out today. I need to get my post out today. You still want to, like, do things that you want to do. You still want to do, like, art that you love doing. Now, like, just don't do it because you want the numbers. Now, if you see, like, Bridget or somebody is, like, trending on Twitter, and you just want to draw her because you want the clout, maybe don't do that. If you see Bridget and you're like, Bridget's cute, I want to draw her, do it. Just fucking do it. Do it. Like the Shia LaBeouf. Do it. Anyway. If there are characters or series you'd like to make art of, go ahead and go for it. If there's a funny tweet you saw, and you think of a funny comic with your OCs, or some fan characters even, and you want to draw it out, go for it, as long as you have permission, of course. If there is a streamer that you've been watching and you like their content, and you thought of a funny, like, drawing to do with them, draw it! Draw them fan art. Most, like, 99.9% of people who have some sort of art that they put on the internet, OCs or VTubers or what have you, love to get fan art. 99.9%. One of the only people I know who did not like getting fan art stopped posting their art on the internet. So if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, make fan art for people. Make relatable, fun content, And most importantly, like I've been saying, content you enjoy making. Okay? Now, there's a take I see a whole lot of the time, which is you gotta make fan art to get eyes on your work. And while fan art can get you a bigger following, I am speaking from experience. Making fan content probably isn't going to get you where you want to go, where you want to be. Because when you make fan content especially purely for views, you're not going to be happy. Because the people who are following you for that fan content. So you should be making original content. I'm saying, like, just make original content that you enjoy making. Used to be a brony artist. Yes, I did too. I used to be a Kingdom Hearts fan content creator. I used to dub Kingdom Hearts fan comics when I was a teenager. And when I lost interest in that and I wanted to make my own creations, people didn't care. People did not care. There were some people that cared. There were plenty of people that cared, and they're still around. But for the most part, the 18,000 subscribers I had on YouTube, they overlooked that stuff. And I don't blame them. Because the thing is, when you follow, like, say, like a cute cat blog or whatever, and they start posting refrigerators, of course you're going to scroll past it, because it's not a cute cat. So, this is my word of advice for you. Don't make fan content for views. Make fan content because you enjoy making it. But keep in mind, there are going to be a ton of people that follow you specifically for that fan content, and the moment you stop making it, they're going to be pissed. Depends on what fan thing you're doing. But by making, like, art and connecting to people with, like, fan art of their characters and fan art of, like, whatever you enjoy, this is how you start making connections to people, like the first C. Okay, let's hide communication, because we're not there yet. Let's hide communication. This is how you make connections to people. And let's learn about the second C. And you start building, or you start interfacing with different communities! Yay! The two C's. Connections and community. So you really, to start out, you really want to start making connections to people. You really want to start interfacing with communities. And building your own community, for real. Yeah, I lose subscribers every time I post non-pony stuff. Still, I understand that. I completely understand that. Okay. Big question. Let's start putting more stuff. Connections and community. Yippee! So how do you get noticed? This is a big question I get asked a whole lot. Unfortunately, we live in an algorithmic hellscape, and so much of getting noticed is getting lucky. There are plenty of ways to game the system, and these methods are constantly changing with the way these algorithms work. The best you can do is pick your social media platforms of choice out, look up the best times to post on said platforms. The unfortunate part is this is changing all the time, so every so often look up the best times to post on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, whatever platforms you're going to be using. Use a few at the same time. I recommend. Thankfully, there's like queue stuff for like Tumblr and things, so you can set times for like queuing stuff up. But yeah, get a Buffer account. Have you guys ever heard of Buffer? Go on buffer.com and you can set specific times for specific social media platforms. So you can look up the best times to post on all these specific platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook even. All of these different platforms, and you can set specific times for each website. And then you can just queue stuff up and it posts on the best times. It's great. Definitely use Buffer to queue up your posts and stuff. Ads, art, whatever you want. Get a Buffer account. It's free, and like a trial version is free, or whatever. There's a free version, and then there's a version where you can pay and you can queue up like 100 posts or whatever. Anyway, Buffer. Get it. Buffer.com. Go on it. Use it. There's a mobile app. There's everything. It's helpful. It's great. Post-it notes. Use post-it notes, note cards, or even a document where you keep quick notes on the best times to post things. Post things are a good thing to have. Post-it notes everywhere. I have little, cards for when I'm streaming that tell me all the different things I should be doing during a stream. I have a document. Maybe I can find it. Hold on. I have a document that I named, important things. Where is it? Yeah, important things. And it has TikTok posting times. The best times to post on TikTok. It has the best times to post on Tumblr. It has the best times to post on YouTube. It has all these things. It has all of these things. And is a good thing to have on the side to refer to whenever you're lost and confused and are like, wait, when should I post these things? It's good to make a posting schedule on when you should post things, etc., etc. How's boot camp? It's going. I'm just now, I'm talking about, posting at good times on social media and stuff. There's so many resources you can look up, and you can just find all the best times to post, time zones, etc., etc., etc. Twitter tips. When posting art, this is really stupid. Don't ask me why Twitter is like this. Don't say anything. Don't say anything in your art post. Post emojis. That's it. Then, in the replies, put your tags and your ats. Don't ask me why. I don't know why this works. I don't know why Twitter is like this. There's a thing that goes around, I don't know how true this is, that Twitter disincentivizes anything that looks like an ad. Anything that has a link in it, anything that has an at in it, maybe not anything that has a hashtag in it, but this is a problem. This is a huge problem on Twitter, is that anything that looks like an ad seems to be thrown under everything else. I don't think this is necessarily Twitter automatically disincentivizing anything that looks like an ad. I think this is just human nature, and anything that looks like an ad to us, we are going to overlook. That could also be it. Either way, anything that looks like an ad, try your best to make things not look like ads. It sounds dumb, but it's true. Because it's human nature. Somebody's trying to sell us something, we don't want to look at it. I don't get it. I don't know. It's a problem. It's a problem. I'm gonna turn on the music just for me because I have ADHD and hearing music too loud makes me not able to think. Posting videos. Now, even if you're just an artist and you're just posting art and stuff, Clip Studio Paint, at least, and a lot of different art programs have time-lapse things. Maybe I don't think you can see menus when I drop them down. But you can record time-lapses, and you can save time-lapses after your piece is done. And that can get some views on your... That can get some eyes on your artwork. So definitely get some time-lapses going. You can post them on TikTok. As much as people hate TikTok, it's a great way to get noticed. The algorithm on that website is absolutely crazy. And make sure your thumbnail is bright and colorful, at a point in the time lapse where you can kind of tell what is going on in that. And you can put a timestamp. You could put a timestamp at the end of your videos to lead back to your website or where you primarily post work, where you're most active. Oh, and I said this earlier. Definitely have a portfolio website that's only art. This can be Tumblr, Twitter, your own website, excellent to give to people when you just want to show your work. People scouting out people for jobs usually understand that if you're on Twitter, it's your Twitter. And we'll look for a straight-up portfolio website to see examples of your work. So don't worry about making your main brand account only art, because when you're branding, you kind of want to uphold a brand too. You don't want to just have art and that's it. That's it. You want to have a brand. Build a brand. But making art for people is always a great way to get the exposure and connections. Connections! That's one of the C's. Connections! The connections you need. And you're probably like, wait a minute. Isn't that a little skeevy to draw art for people just so you could get noticed? That is the thing. Don't make art for people just because you want attention or clout. That is not one of the C's. You never want to make art just for the attention, like I was saying about fan art. You never want to make art just for the views. You're doing this to connect to people, because making art, even as an artist who takes commissions, isn't just about the money or the clout. The money is just a nice thing that comes with. So build a brand. We'll get to build a brand. We'll get to it. The money is just a nice thing that comes with, though, with doing the commissions. Art is all about connecting people, bringing them together, and communicating to them through art. Again, you're not doing this just to get noticed. You're doing this because you see someone's character design, you really like it, and you want to draw it. And if a genuine connection happens because of that, that's neat, right? If it doesn't, well, it wasn't meant to be. This is a thing I see about, like, networking. Is people are always like, how do you network? How do you network? And instead of, like, networking, drop that out of your vocabulary. Just make genuine connections to people. If you see somebody's art or work or anything that you really genuinely enjoy, just reach out and be like, hey, what the fuck? I like what you do. This is awesome. And just, like, genuinely, like, talk to people. And, like, there you go. If a connection happens, that's awesome. If a connection doesn't happen, it wasn't meant to be. Just that, like, instead of thinking it from, like, a business perspective, just think of it as, like, I want to talk to this person because they seem cool. I like their content. And, yeah, whatever happens, happens. I get people who do that with my Jackal. Fan art is lovely, but some do it with motive, and that's icky. Yeah. I always love fan art. And I'm not gonna complain if I ever get fan art. But man, yeah, I can understand, like, sometimes you can tell, like, oh, this person just wanted attention. But we are human. We're all human. We're all doing things for attention. Let me tell you, buddy. But nah, sometimes people do it because they wanna brown nose you, and that can feel icky, for sure. For sure! I understand that. Alright. What are some other slides I have in here? Oh, heck! Branding! Let's talk about branding. I said we'd talk about it. Let's go! Like I said, I'm not a business professional, but this is what I know about branding. So, branding is a super important thing to keep in mind when building up a reputation. You have to sit and think, what is my thing? What is my aesthetic? What do I enjoy drawing? Think less about what people want to see and more about what you want to see, what you want to draw and enjoy drawing. It really does show through your art when you genuinely enjoy what you do. Like, believe me. It genuinely shows. So that is kind of like why, for me personally, I'm trying to stick more to streaming horror games, because that's what I like. That's my thing. And things that aesthetically, like, resonate with me, I try to stick more to those things. So I try to stick to, like, furry stuff when I'm doing art. That's why I try to stick to, like, I really love getting horror commissions. I love doing that so much. So that is my thing. And whenever I'm drawing for myself personally, I try to stick to one, like, specific kind of aesthetic. And that is important to do for, like, branding stuff. A rookie mistake when it comes to branding is constantly changing your icon and or your handle. You need to at least find a format to have your icon in and stick to that. And you need to find a name and stick to that. If you want an account where you're constantly changing your icon and name, that's fine. But make a separate account where you stick to just one. I'm not saying keep the same exact icon on your brand account or what you want to be your brand account at all times, but if you are constantly cycling through like completely different icons all the time, people are not going to know who you are. And same goes for your name on Twitter. The dreaded icon change. Yeah, it is a problem. Like, not just with like branding on like Twitter and stuff. It's like there are people that'll message me with a completely different name and icon, and I'm like, who are you? Who are you? And that's why, like, I try to stick to the same, like, icon format all the time. It's always my persona in some way, shape, or form. Like, right now it's spooky persona on Twitter, but, you know, peeking out of the corner. Oh, God, is this Kingdom Hearts music? Get out of here. All right. Oh. I could say if you do themed icons for the seasons, make sure you keep to the same character. The same character recognizable. Exactly. Exactly. People can still tell it's you. Like, make sure. Me, when I rebranded to Poltrare after a decade of Rainbow Dynasty. See, that's fine. I am saying specifically, if you are an artist that wants to get recognized, you need to stick to a brand, to an aesthetic, to a name, to an icon, etc., etc., etc. Figure out what your thing is. What it is. And stick to it. Once something sticks and people like it, that's it. Go for it. Fucking go for it. While you're building up a community. Remember, community. While you're building up a community and making connections to other artists and people through your art, you may want to start thinking about opening commissions. We're finally there. We're finally there. How do you go about that? How do you even start pricing that? How do you start pricing that? I have not been... Oh, no, I have. Okay. How do you start pricing that? This is a mess. This is a goddamn mess. It's held together by paper clips and toothpicks. How do you start pricing that? Okay, let's talk about pricing. This is very exciting. This is very exciting. So you want to open commissions. All right? Cool. Pricing is probably the trickiest thing to figure out. Other than, you know, how do you get noticed? Getting noticed is a lot about, like, luck, and I hate it. You have to really look at several different aspects when it comes to pricing. How much time you work on it, how much experience you've had to build up your skill, and what your current skill level is, how hot a commodity your art is at the moment, etc., etc., etc. Contrary to popular belief, making your commissions dirt cheap doesn't guarantee you work. What it can guarantee you is terrible clients who don't want to pay artists fairly. Here's the thing. When I first started taking commissions, I had a lot of good clients. I had a lot of polite clients. My commissions were dirt cheap, you guys. They were so incredibly cheap. Like, I'm talking $1 to $10. The most expensive thing I offered was $10. And people were commissioning me for, like, and I wasn't even getting that many commissions, but people were commissioning me. And I was doing traditional stuff too. Here's a few horror stories. These are so long ago, so I don't feel like really bad like talking about it. So I had one commission. I drew the sketch out. I sent I sent a picture to the client. And they loved it. So then I inked it. Keep in mind, this was traditional. So I inked it. I was at the point of no return. I send it back to them. Also keep in mind, they paid me $10. And they were like, it doesn't quite look the same as the sketch. Like, they're not making the same expression that they were before. Can you fix that? And I was like, well, looks like I'm gonna have to redraw it. So I had to completely scrap that. I threw it away and redraw it from the ground up until they were happy with it. And I have so many stories like this because when people just want to pay you $5 for something, they think that art is just magic. And it is, to a degree. They think it's just you wave your hand and there's an image on the page. They don't think that, oh, there's years and years and years built up of your skill that made you able to do this. And you take hours out of your day to work on this. Yeah, for $10. So these are the people that pay about like $1 to $10 for a commission are not going to respect your time. They're not, because they're already paying you like pennies. They're already not paying you enough. So, value your art, please. A good way to figure out how you want to price is to pick what you'd want to be paid per hour. So, you can start off with whatever number that you want to. A lot of people say that the minimum wage should be $15. That's fair. So if you want to start, $15 an hour, $25 an hour, whatever you like, $20 an hour, go for that. So yeah, 15 to 25 an hour is a good starting point. From there, start a few drawings and time yourself. Time yourself while doing these drawings, okay? All right. Really take your time with these though, and then crunch some numbers to see what you come up with. So if you draw like a full body, piece and it takes you like 3 hours, then you should probably be charging around $75 for that, because that took you 3 hours. Depending on your skill level, there's a lot of like different factors you want to factor in, okay? Because there are people who are faster, and I don't think they should be paid less. You have to factor in so many different things. That is the problem, because it's not just about how long it takes. It is about skill level. It is about how confident you are about pricing your commissions the way you want, right? Is it better to overprice yourself? This is a question I got. Overpricing is subjective. It's best to figure out how to fairly price yourself, and I'd say overpricing is better than underpricing your work, because you're likely to draw the attention of clients far more inclined to support your work if you price your commissions higher than if you undersell yourself. That's the thing, is if you are charging fairly for your commissions, say like $60 to $70 for a full body, then people who like respect artists are going to be attracted to your work. The people that don't aren't going to buy from you. That's the thing. This is really important. If you have terrible self-esteem, you may be like many people when they first open commissions and only charge like $5 to $20 per commission. I'm going to be brutally honest here and say, if you don't think your art is worth more than that, you're probably not ready to open commissions. If you aren't, the last C or the third C is about to be revealed. Ready? If you aren't confident enough in your abilities and the service you provide to price a full body commission more than $20, you gotta either work on your confidence or work on your art. Bottom line. That's the thing. You have to exude confidence. when you are trying to sell commissions to people. You can't, you have to constantly be confident in your art. You can't be like, man, everybody hates my art. You can't publicly be like that. Yes, pinch fingers, chef's kiss. Yes, confidence. Have that confidence. Slay. No, I'm never saying that again. My bad. You can't be like this guy and have no confidence. This is the hardest pill to swallow, because here's the thing. And I'm not going to say, if you're not getting commissions, it's because you suck at art. That's not what I'm saying, because, like I said, we live in an algorithmic hellscape. And, like, sometimes it's just the algorithm. Sometimes things just don't take off. Sometimes people see something and it looks like an ad to them and they look over it. And it sucks. Sometimes it is your abilities. Sometimes your art isn't ready to be commissioned. Don't let that keep you down. If anything, that should motivate you to practice and get up to snuff until you're ready to start taking commissions. The bottom line is, if you aren't feeling confident about your art, if you look at your art and say, nobody's going to pay more than $20 for this, that's it. You're not ready. You're not ready for that. Right? There have been so many people I've seen underselling themselves. Unconfident. There have been so many people I've seen underselling themselves, selling full bodies for $30, and I've told them, please, for the love of God, please charge more than $30 if you can. They're like, I don't feel confident charging more than that for a full body. And I'm like, then honey, you should not be doing this right now. You're destroying yourself. Stop this. But when you price your commissions fairly, when you clearly value your work, people aren't going to be driven away by that. Sure, the people who don't want to pay you fairly are going to be driven away. And that's a good thing. What this does is it exudes confidence. It shows people you are confident in your abilities and the services that you provide. And that is attractive to paying clients. Believe me. Believe you me. Where's the confidence? There it is. Girl boss. Hashtag girl boss. That is the confidence you want. It's beautiful. Yeah, girl boss. But a lot of it can be what communities you're in. There are plenty of art communities where all the artists in the community underprice all of their work. This is especially prevalent in very anime focused spaces. I've also heard that DeviantArt is pretty infamous for having artists do full commissions for $5, and that is unacceptable. And what you need to do if you are in these spaces is get out. Just walk out. Hit the bricks. If it sucks, hit the bricks. If you are fairly pricing your work and valuing your work, if you're offering full body stuff for $60, which is a very reasonable price, and someone at an equal or greater skill level is over here charging $15 for the same thing, get out. Get out. Get out of there. Find communities and corners of the internet that value artists' work and not only want art, they want to support artists. That is the important thing here. Once you're in a good place where you feel good about your prices, they're fair, they look good in comparison to other artists in the space you're in, then you can get started. Then let's get started, baby. Let's get started. Taxes! We all want to hear about taxes, right? Let's talk about taxes. What a great stream this is. Everybody's here. We're all here to talk about taxes in America. No, let's hide America. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. It is actually illegal for me to give specific tax advice unless I'm some sort of tax advisor and I'm trained to do that. So I'm not going to tell you everything about this. But this is important. And it has become super apparent to me that a lot of artists do not realize that they need to do taxes if they make a certain amount of money. But it all depends what country you're in, what state you're in. It all varies. So I'm not going to get into that because that's that's a completely different thing. However, I will say that at least in America, if you are making money off of commissions, you should be filing your taxes. You should be filing your taxes. What you can do to make this easier on yourself is make a spreadsheet. We all love spreadsheets here. We all do. I do. And log your hours and stuff. But yeah, make a spreadsheet that you go back to at the end of the month, calculate all your earnings and all your business expenses. Here's the fun thing. Listen, you will be surprised at what counts as a business expense. Food or snacks that you buy to eat while you're working on the clock can count as business expenses. You can count your electric bill as a business expense if you need it to work. Your internet bill, that's a business expense if you're taking commissions. Exactly. Another important thing you can do is log your hours. That's what this was for, and I unhit it at the wrong time. Log your hours. There are plenty of apps to do this. I recommend anything that resembles a Pomodoro timer. Now, there's a it's called like Focus To Do on Android. There's this app that I use where you can put a specific task and say how many Pomodoros it would take. And Pomodoros are equal to 25 minutes. So you can estimate like how long a commission would take per like 25 minutes and like based on the price if you want. And you can see if you're taking too long and underpricing your work, or you can see if you are not taking enough time and you should be chilling out and maybe working longer on your stuff. Technically on tax forms, you have to specify the percentage of the cost of utilities like energy and bills usage for the business, if it's a home business, by the way. Thank you, Case. I appreciate that input. That is really important, yes. But definitely get like a Pomodoro type like timer so you can estimate how long things will take to should take for you to do, like each commission, if you want. Or you can be like, I want to work this many hours this day and log that. And make sure you're not like overworking yourself, obviously. Okay. But yeah, not only can you predict how long a piece should take, but it also keeps track of how many hours you work in a day, in a week, and in a month. And that can be important for taxes. Like I've had to fill out tax forms that are like, hey, how many hours did you work in this month? And I have to put that down. So that's why I log my hours, or I try to log how many hours I work in a month. At least, at the very least, have a spreadsheet. Spreadsheets are your best friends. Now, this isn't regarding taxes necessarily, but this is regarding money. And a huge problem I see with artists taking commissions is they will spend their money they make with commissions before the commissions are done. This is an incredibly dangerous thing, and you should not do this. This is not good business practice. The problem with this is that people can change their mind about their commission and ask for the money back, but you've already spent the money. That's bad. That's bad. See, like the thing with a client is, especially if you're like taking a bit to get the commission done and you haven't started yet, the client can have like an emergency come up and then they need that money back. But if you already spent it and you didn't even start their commission, that is a problem and you shouldn't be doing that. Also, if you're using PayPal, I don't recommend leaving the money in PayPal. Just because PayPal has been known to lock up people's accounts without notice. Just don't spend your commission money as soon as you get it. Finish the commission first, then that money is free game. Okay? Okay. 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 All right. Let's go back. Let's go to our next slide. Starting out again. Here's a question that was asked. Yeah, have a savings account you can shuffle it into. Absolutely, Scully. Starting out again. This is a question I was asked. What's better? Options galore or minimal choices? I'm going to say this right now. Minimal choices. Say you offer multiple services. Say you offer multiple services. PNG tubers, Telegram stickers, sketches, line art, flat color, shaded color. Do you want it in this style or this style? A lot of choices. Sounds like it'd be alluring, right? Not really. When offering commissions, it's best to keep things simple. Do you want an icon, waist up or full body? Do you want flat color or shading? Done. And you can have an option, like an other option, to keep your options open. Now that you have your prices and your options, here's a pro tip. Only announce a limited amount of slots, preferably a few you could get done in a reasonable amount of time. Not only is this good practice so you're not biting off more than you can chew, but it's giving people more of an incentive to claim these slots while they can, right? Now, there are a few ways to go about how to receive commission inquiries. You can tell people to DM you to claim. However, this can be risky because people are shy. Let's face it, people are shy. People are nervous. People will see DM and chicken out sometimes. Clients generally don't want to be the ones to break the ice. Generally. One way you can get around that is you can open a Google form or any kind of form. Google Forms is just nice. I like it. It's very helpful. This is generally a pretty good way to organize everything, and you can provide your terms of service, your options, have the client provide descriptions of the characters, backgrounds, whatever specifics they'd like for their commission without directly interfacing with you. So that anxiety of breaking the ice with an artist, gone. It's just gone. However, that's not for everyone either. I have had a few people mention that filling out a form makes them a little nervous, especially if they're trying to beat the clock and getting a form in. So if you're first come, first serve, and they're trying to beat the clock and they're panicking, freaking out, and oh god, I gotta get this form in, that can be anxiety inducing for some people. So another option, there are many options you can choose between all these, is to just have people reply to your commission posts to claim. And then you can DM them. So that takes the dependence on them DMing you away, and also how nerve-wracking filling a form out could be, you know? It's like Cheesecake Factory menu versus a regular restaurant. Yeah, exactly. I've been to so many restaurants like Cheesecake Factory or BJ's. They just have a fucking book of options, and it's dude, I just want a few things. That's why some of my favorite restaurants have 4 options, and that's what I want. That's all I want. I don't want too many things. It's scary. It's intimidating. Once you're actually getting inquiries for commissions, what you need to do, for the love of God, is write people invoices. Invoices. This is great for taxes, by the way. This is great. In invoices, you can put your terms of service also. So upon paying for an invoice, a client is agreeing to those terms of service. Okay. Got it? Got it? Good. Good. Write invoices, please, for the love of God. For the love of God, write people invoices. Please. Also, you can just itemize all the different types of commissions in PayPal, writing invoices. So if somebody's getting a full body, you type in full body, bam, there's the price. Bam, you got it. Terms of service. What should you put in your terms of service? Let's talk about that. So basically, you should mention your refund policy. Okay? So what is your refund policy, basically? This can be like anything that you want it to be. Mine is, I don't do refunds if I finished your piece. If it's done, I already did the work. You paid for the work. That's what it is. And if somebody wants their money back for whatever reason, because they don't like it, I will work with them to fix those problems in the piece to make them like it, or to make them happy with what they have. However, if I'm like 50% done and somebody needs a refund, I'll give them 50% of the money back because I did 50% of the work. That is how I do refunds. A lot of people do refunds differently. Sometimes people have no refunds, period. And if you want to do it that way, do it that way. I'm not going to judge you. There's some... What is this goddamn Renaissance music? It's hurting my brain. Oh, it's Chrono Cross. It's hurting my brain. I can't stand it. Oh, no. But definitely have some sort of refund policy. Whether you do them, whether you don't, however you want to do that, it's up to you. It's up to you. I suggest not having refunds upon completion of your piece because you still did the work. You did all the work. Maybe a partial refund if you can't get them to like it. Like, that's personally never happened to me. But if you get to that point where you're like, you finish the piece and they just don't like it and they want a complete refund, say, sorry, no full refunds. You agreed to the terms of service. That's what you do, baby. That's what you do. Do not resell artwork. Do not do that. Put that in your terms of service, especially in this day and age of NFTs. You do not want people reselling your artwork as an NFT for Bitcoin. No. Put that in your terms of service right now because people will... There are NFT bros that will do that. Fuck. Make sure you put that in your terms of service. I would say having a refund policy is good just in case someone does a chargeback on PayPal. Yes, because if you can provide PayPal your refund policy and showing that the client agreed to the refund policy, they can deny that chargeback. Exactly. It is so important to have some sort of refund policy in your terms of service for that exact reason. This was a huge issue with streamers with donations. Yes. Yes, that was a thing for a bit. I remember seeing that. It's also as a side note, I still need to do this. Definitely put, like, underneath your donations on Twitch, no refunds for your stuff. No refunds on donations. Yeah, exactly. That just seems really scummy. If you're donating to a streamer, you can't really ask for a chargeback. You shouldn't do that. That's really messed up. You're donating to somebody. Man, anyway. But yeah. Make sure you put in your terms of service, do not resell. Yeah, PayPal. All right. What's the next thing? Oh, edit policy. See, I don't really have like any sort of like edit policy other than if like super late into the like creation process of the commission, like while I'm on the coloring stage or shading stage or what have you. If you want edits that are going to take a while, I may have to charge you extra. This doesn't happen super often, but for the most part, like, there are some people who are like, you are allowed like 5 edits per commission. So make sure you get those 5 edits in, and like, if you want to be super specific about that, that's cool. Sometimes that gives people peace of mind, like, oh cool, I can get 5 edits done for my commission. And that's a good thing that gives some people peace of mind. For me, it's just like a general kind of deal, is like, please let me know if you want edits pretty early on, like in the sketch preferably. So you can put in a little bit of an edit sort of policy. But yeah, clients, when paying for their invoices, are agreeing to these terms of service. So if you see your clients trying to sell your commission or your art in general, And it says very clearly in your terms of service, hey, you are agreeing not to do this, and they paid for that invoice, well, you can bust them for that, because they agreed that they wouldn't do that. So, you know. And also the whole chargeback thing. But these are general things that you want to put in your terms of service. If there's anybody in the chat who has other suggestions for terms of service, let me know and I'll read it out. Because Zeke made a really good point about the chargeback stuff. Because, alright. Now that you're getting commissions, I need to make it very clear what the absolute, respecting your off time. Yes, that is a good thing. That needs to be in your terms of service. I never considered that. But yeah. Yeah, that is important. Because, dude, I have seen it before. And I feel like I've had it. It hasn't been a long time. It hasn't been a super long time since I've had it happen. But I've totally had people like see me like on like Steam, like playing a game when they had a commission in my queue, and they'll like message me and be like, so I see you are playing a game, in like a smiley face, and it's like, yes I am. I sure am playing a game. And they're just kind of like, oh, okay, well, how's my commission coming? And it's like, dude, sometimes I like to play games. Sometimes I'm not working on commissions. It's been like 2 days. What are you doing? You know. But yes, definitely. Respect. Let's put that in there. Respect. Off time. Respect it. Respect the pouch. Respect it. For sure. Alright. Let's get to the 4th C, baby. Hold on. Terms of service. Yep. 4th C, baby. Need to make it very clear what the absolute most important part of taking commissions is. It's not the art. It's not how fast you can get the art done. Or how good it is. Can you guess what it is? It's communication. It's communication. I'm gonna yell about this because this is the biggest problem I see. This is the biggest fucking problem I see when it comes to artists and commissions. So I'm gonna yell a little bit. It's communication, baby. A common misconception I think a lot of artists who take commissions have is that taking commissions is purely transactional. Someone shows up, slaps a thing on your desk, they give you money, you give them a thing back, that's it. Don't think of it that way. What you're doing is working with your clients and not for your clients. You are providing a service. When contacting your client about their inquiry, once payment is out of the way and all that, provide a timeline for your client. Say, all right, so I'm going to get this done in the next couple weeks. Okay? You can even provide a deadline. Be completely transparent on how long the commission is going to take. A good way to do this is have like a Trello where you post your queue. That way not only can clients see where they are on the queue, but potential clients can see how quickly and efficiently you work. All right? We're understanding each other. So say something comes up and like life happens all the time. Something comes up, an emergency on your end. And there's probably going to be some delays on your client's commissions. Easy. Here's what you do. Guess what you do? What are you going to do? Emergency came up. It's going to take a little bit longer. What do you do? Anybody? You know what you do? Tell your clients. If your wrist is acting up and you're going to have to rest it for a few days, tell your clients. If you had to go to the ER and need to recover from that, tell your clients. If you're having a bad depressive spell and need to take some time to yourself. Tell your fucking clients. Iconic Lizard. Hello. Communicate. Communicate. Something I know a lot of artists will do is they will just not talk to their clients. A bunch of personal life stuff comes up, things get delayed, things stack up on top of each other, and they just don't communicate this with their clients. And the more time goes by, the more anxious they get. Because what are you going to say at that point? What are you going to say? Listen. Your clients aren't your boss. Like Boss Baby right here. In a retail job. You're not calling in sick at your job at Starbucks. You don't need a good enough excuse. In fact, you don't even need to give an excuse at all. You can just say, hey, just so you know, there may be a bit of a delay due to some life stuff that came up, and I'll keep you posted. Thank you for your patience. Done. And that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do, my guy. 99% of the time, people are understanding. I don't think I've ever had a person who didn't understand. If you can't communicate, run a Trello, you update regularly. That's at least something. Yeah, exactly. You can have a Trello, you can communicate to your clients directly, you can make a big post on Twitter like, hey, excuse me guys, I caught COVID. It's gonna take a bit for me to get to these commissions. I'm sorry. I did that a while ago, and then I also personally contacted everybody on my queue like, hey, just so you know, it may take me a bit to get to your commission. Hope you don't mind. And everybody was like, dude, don't worry about it. Get well soon. Listen. People are going to understand. As long as you're not delaying people continuously for months to a year on end, people will have patience. If you are keeping them, like, posted, people are going to be a lot more understanding if things are going to take a little longer. And they'll appreciate it a lot more that you communicated the delays rather than kept them in the dark, okay? Cut off all contact with your client at the slightest hiccup in progress. No. But. In the dark. Sorry. They don't like to be in the dark. They don't like it. But in giving clients genuinely good experiences, keeping communication open, being transparent about deadlines, clients will walk away not only satisfied with the art that they got, but ultimately with the service you provided. A lot of these clients will end up recommending you to their friends. And that's how connections, one of the C's, continue to be built. And that's how communities, another one of the C's, are built around your artwork. If you aren't confident, another C, in your abilities to get things done in time, or you keep missing deadlines again and again, it's probably a good idea to partially charge your clients up front, then have them pay the rest of the tab upon approving the sketch. That's usually a good business practice. Okay. They're gonna tell their friends. Partially charge. Okay. I keep forgetting to put up these things. I keep getting caught up in my gesticulating. Anyway. Here's an important thing. I don't see enough people talking about. Don't shit talk your clients in public spaces. I see this all the time. I see so many artist friends, like, it's addicting. I know it is. Don't go on Twitter and shit talk a recent client. Like, earlier I was talking about experiences that I had with clients that were less than ideal. That was like over 10 years ago. Now, if you got a recent client that was like less than ideal, kind of an annoying experience, don't shit talk them on Twitter. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Not only can the client you're specifically shit talking see it, but other potential clients will see it. And one, could think you're talking about them. And two, see that you're incredibly negative and won't want to work with you. If you need to vent in private. Talk to your friends. Go on a private Twitter, maybe. But yeah, I check in with artists once a month. Getting a snippy response isn't a good look. No! Absolutely not. Especially if their queue is hard to find. If there's no work in progress or reason for not being at 3 months, I'm gonna start getting antsy. Yeah, exactly. Good lord. Ugh. While we're at it on the topic of shit talking your clients, don't do that. Never blame your audience for a lack of engagement. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, dudes. You guys, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. You can say reblogs and likes are appreciated. That's always nice. But don't lambast your following for liking but not retweeting. Never say publicly, no one likes my art. Don't do that. Even if you're thinking it, even if you're feeling it, don't do that. Because when you're doing that, the handful of people who do like your art are no longer going to stick around. You are treating them like beef jerky. I don't know. It's always just so, like, hateful to me when I see people being like, how dare you like my tweet and not retweet it? Liking does nothing. And it's like, dude, if they don't want to retweet your art, that's not them being hateful. They just don't want to retweet it for whatever reason that they don't want to retweet it. It doesn't matter. Stop attacking people for not retweeting or reblogging your art. That is ridiculous. Like, if somebody just wants to like your thing, that's their thing. Like, they can do that for whatever reason they want. If your art will not fit into their blog's aesthetic, that's fine. Like, they don't need a good or bad reason or whatever. Like, just let stop blaming your audience for a lack of engagement. That is, like, never blame your audience for that sort of stuff. It's awful. That's mean. Especially when your audience, like, is small. Because then your small audience is just gonna dissipate. It's stupid. Don't do that. Service is just as important as the end product in a lot of cases, because then whenever the client sees the piece you made, will associate it with the experience they had while you made it, and that's a great way to build return custom. Exactly! You get it, Thursday. You get it, Thursday. Also, don't blacklist commissioners who ask for a refund when you can't produce the work they paid for in a timely manner. Exactly! Don't call out clients because they ask for a refund because you gave them shit service. That is really hateful and awful. There's some that all I remember is how annoyed I was with the artist. Yeah, no, like, you want to give your clients an experience. You don't want to just be transactional. You don't want to just be like, here's your art, that's it. You want to actually interface with your client. You're working with them, not for them. That is what I always say. You want to give them you want to provide them with good service. That's what you want to do. Anyway, I'm gonna continue my rant about shit talking your audience. It's a good idea to be mostly positive on your brand's social media, especially. What you put out, you'll end up getting back, okay? All right. We're on the same level, I hope. We're on the same level. I am jetting through this document. I hope you guys know. I'm only like an hour and 15 minutes into this, so any input that anybody in the chat has, whether it be questions, whether it be things you want to add, like Scully and Thursday have been adding some really good comments, and Zeke earlier was also adding some good comments, and Tazara. Definitely post that in the chat. I'll read it. This is good content. This is good conversation. I'm enjoying this. Okay, here's an important thing that I added kind of like last minute. How to spot a scam. Let me bring up the slide for that. Yeah. Scam. How to spot a scam, baby. The unfortunate part of taking commissions and commissioning artists is there are some scam artists out there, both ways. Sometimes it's not even intentional, but it happens nonetheless. When taking commissions, always, at least take partial payment before starting any work. You gotta take partial payment. It's a fairly common scam for clients to ask for a sketch before they pay. And that's a surefire way for them to get a free sketch. And then ghost you. Make sure you get at least partial payment, because then they can also agree to the terms of service in paying for that invoice before starting on that commission. At the very least, you can also offer down payments. Also, caution against opening too many emergency commissions. Yes, absolutely. That goes hand in hand with when I was talking about earlier. Because then it's a surefire way to spend your money before the commission is done. And that is very dangerous. Once in a while is fine, but if you find yourself constantly in an emergency, you may need to reevaluate your spending habits. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have... Oh my god! It's Final Fantasy VII music! I'm sorry, I got really happy. But, what was I saying? Emergency commissions. I've seen so often. So often. It really sucks that when a lot of artists open for emergency commissions, like, constantly, is a sort of red flag to me. It really sucks. But if they're doing it, like, so goddamn often, I'm just like, okay, you need to learn how to manage your money better. Come on. Because I have seen artists that are like, emergency commissions, and they don't specify what the emergency is. And it turns out that they were in the red because they were playing gacha games or something. And then they spend all of that money that they got on the gacha game. And it's like, dude, are you really opening emergency commissions so you can spend all that money on Genshin Impact? Be mindful of this when you're commissioning people. Like, I hate to say sometimes that emergency commission posts are a red flag. That's for me personally. But if I am seeing it all the time, I'm like, what's going on here, baby? What's going on here, buddy? Hello? On the other hand, though, on the opposite end of this, when commissioning someone, see if they have a public queue and take note of how quickly they go through the commissions. If you see something that's still in their queue from like 2 years ago, maybe reconsider commissioning them. Transparency is a very good thing to look for in an artist you're commissioning. Don't be afraid to ask for an invoice either, instead of just sending in a payment. This way it's easier to keep track of how much time a commission takes. So, if your artist ends up ghosting you and not keeping in touch, be sure to keep track of the time. For PayPal at least, if you open a dispute within 180 days of the purchase, you can easily get your money back. Maybe not easily, but you can get your money back opening a dispute. Don't let that opportunity slip past you, because after those 180 days are up, it's a lot harder to get your money back. Alright? Cool. Emergency commission, new Blorbo just dropped. I need cash for rolls. No. Okay. Ghost. I keep forgetting to do this because I keep getting caught up. Nobody can see me gesticulating, but I'm doing it. I just need you to know. I just need you to know. I am making so many gestures with my hands right now. Damn. I wish I wasn't just a PNG. Anyway, scams. Scams. Ooh, baby, buddy. The do's and don'ts of clients. This is a really exciting one. Emergency commission. Someone buy me McDonald's. Never let the 180 days pass. Put the dispute in, baby. Alright, yeah, 180 days is like more than enough time for most commissions. Most commissions. If you've been ghosted that long, that's a problem. They can always refund you and you repay it if it needs to be with discussion, yeah. Alright, the do's and don'ts of clients. Are you ready? Are you ready? Do not be afraid to point out details you don't like or don't want in there. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about a story of me, not just taking the L, but holding the L in my pocket. So I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. So, like 4 years ago, I took like a big mass commission, right? And not really a mass commission, it was like a multiple like tinier commissions that were like 20 bucks a pop for little chibis on a banner for a server or like a website for a bunch of furries. And one of the references for this furry that I was drawing had like an overlay of like hexagon pattern, and I was like, dude, that's really cool. Is this like character like some sort of hologram or something like that? Because it was neat. The effect was neat to me. This reference was from Toy House, which was a website I wasn't super familiar with. When I finished this commission for this person, I put this overlay on with the hexagon pattern because I liked it and it was cool and I thought that was part of the design. It turns out, I found this out like a year, maybe a couple months later, that is a watermark on Toy House. I did not know this. And the commission was already done. The client said they were happy with it. They loved it. They did not mention the overlay. And they could have, because it was a different layer and I could have just hit it. But they did not mention it. And I don't blame them for it. That's fine. They could have I would have been totally okay if they mentioned that's a watermark. I'd have been like, oh shit, and then I would have fixed it. But they did not. And I still hold that L to this day in my pocket. We are mutuals on Twitter. If you're in the Twitch chat right now, I am sorry. Maybe someday I will redo that for you because I don't think I have the master file of that anymore. Anyway, please, if there's any detail you don't like, you're not gonna hurt the artist's feelings. If you say, that hand is too big. I don't like how the thumb looks. Just be sure to be specific. So if you're just like, I don't like the pose, and it's like, okay, what do you want instead? I don't know. Don't do that. Anyway, instead of, like what you want to do is be specific as possible if you have something specific in mind, right? You do want to be specific. You do. Some artists like artistic freedom, and some clients like to give their artists artistic freedom. So, next thing. Do not! Okay, this is like my biggest, maybe not my biggest pet peeve. This, do not say I don't care, then criticize the work in progress. What that means, basically, is if the artist asks you to be specific about something, like, hey, what kind of pose would you like? And you go, I don't care, you choose. And then the artist chooses. Does a pose they like. And then you go, I don't like that pose. Then you clearly do care. And you should have been more specific. So if you want to give the artist freedom, do say I don't care when you actually want to give the artist freedom. If you want to give the artist freedom, give them artistic freedom. Don't say you don't know or don't care unless you actually don't care. Do whatever you want. No, not like that. That is probably like one of the most common things that I get. And I understand, like, if you are not an artist, sometimes it's hard to choose. And that's why it's best to give your clients limited options rather than a plethora of options. Or like just a shit ton of options to choose from, because then you get like decision paralysis. Nah, what you want to do is narrow it down. Narrow it down with your client. If they say I don't care or I can't decide, make a suggestion. Make a suggestion to them. Be like, okay, so you don't know what pose you want. I think this character would look cute in this pose, and then send them a reference. And then if they approve of that, awesome. Awesome. Meet somewhere in the middle, alright? Do not pester the artist every day for a work in progress. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Absolutely do not do this. Don't do this. Every day? Nah. Don't do this. Unless the artist is like, all right, I will have a work in progress to you in a few days. And a few days go by and you haven't heard anything. Then you can pester them. At least a little pester as a treat, you know? Do pester the artist for a work in progress if it's been a while. And it's a while is relative. It depends on the situation. Now, if you are commissioning like a 3D model, and those take a while. So if it's been like a few weeks to a month, if it's been like a month and you still haven't heard anything, you can bug them. You can be like, hey, just checking in. There are plenty of like more polite ways to check in on the artist. I'd say like with any sort of commission, if a month goes by, it is pretty important to check in. Now, if they have a queue and they haven't been updating it, yeah, definitely check in. If they have a queue and they have been updating it, just check every so often. That's an easier way to keep up with things. But, next thing. Do not provide an unreasonable deadline. Do not do that. One time I got a commission from a friend. I love you, man. It's like, I want this commission. I was like, okay, I can get that done in a few days. And then he was like, I need it tonight. And I was like, hello? What do you mean tonight? What do you mean tonight? What do you mean you need it tonight? So I had to do that night. And do ask for a deadline. If you want an unreasonable deadline like that, like if you want something done that night, or the next day, 5 minutes, go, give me a commission. You better be paying a rush fee, man. You better be you better be like, all right, I need this tonight. I will pay you extra. Okay? All right? That's good. That's fine. If the artist is able to do that for you and you are able to provide extra, go for it. But yes, do ask for a deadline. That is nice. And if the gosh, I keep saying commissioner. If the artist gets like snippy with you because you ask for a deadline, or you're like, hey, what's the deadline for this? When do you think this will get done? Around when do you think this will get done? And the artist is like, I have to take my time. It's like, no, you should be providing a deadline. You should be like saying, I'll get this done. I'll get this to you in the next couple of days, or the next couple weeks, or by the end of the month, etc. Even like a ballpark number, please. Artists, please don't offer a rush fee as standard, because if your clients didn't pay it, keep seeing their job pushed back, they're gonna get annoyed. Yes, that is a good point. Also, thanks for the water, Kitsune. Like I said, I don't commission a lot of people, so I haven't seen that as a thing. I offer like patrons to get bumped to the top of my queue, but that's like every so often. But like, I open once a month, and all those commissions that I take, if there are patrons, I bump them to the front of the queue. And it's not like months go by and then people keep getting skipped over. Nah. That can be really annoying. Rush fees, really annoying. If you provide that as standard, it can be a lot. Because I have seen, I should have mentioned this with the scam artist thing. I have seen a lot of artists who provide rush fees as standard, and then just like take years to get to commissions because people pay rush fees, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Skilvy, hello Punk Mog, hello you guys. What's next thing? Do not commission outside an artist's comfort zone. unless you get unless you discuss it with the artist beforehand. Now, I've had plenty of people ask me, hey, have you done this before? And I'll be like, I've only done it once before, but if you're comfortable working with me on this thing that I don't have a whole lot of experience on, then let's do it. You know? Like, discuss it beforehand. Don't, like, go to, like, an anime artist expecting them to draw, like, realistic, like, hyper-realistic portraiture. Like, don't do that. Because I'll get people who will, like, send in commission forms for things that I specifically am, like, not in, like, really not into drawing. And I'm just like, dude, I don't want to draw this. I don't want to draw this. Commission an artist based on their style. You want to commission somebody because you want something in their style, not because you want something in the Sonic style, unless they provide, like, the Sonic style. You know, that kind of deal. Commission artists within their interests and style. Exactly. Do not tell an artist their commissions are too expensive. That's rude. Be like, ugh, you're really charging $80 for this? Yes, they are. What you do is tell an artist their prices are not within your budget. That's way more polite. That's not within my budget right now, but I can get back to you when I save up enough money. Perhaps. Oh my god, I thought that was Angela's theme for a second, and I was like, what is that doing here? But yeah, those are the do's and don'ts of clients. If anybody has any other suggestions for that, let me know. I'm gonna drink some more water. Alright. Here's an important thing. So say you have a commission queue. You have a few things in your... Oh, more water. Oh, Scully, that's a really good one. Don't think an artist is your friend just because they took your commission. Don't think an artist is your friend. You're not buying a commissioner's... Like, you're not buying an artist's friendship when you're commissioning them. Even if you're commissioning them a lot. Like, sometimes friendships do form over, like, an artist and a commissioner. Sometimes it happens. So... Hang on. My brain farted. I'm gonna drink more water. A lot of people will commission an artist to basically, like, buy that interaction with them. Especially if it's a really popular artist. I have heard from, like, more popular artists that this is a very common thing, is that they will get clients that are literally, like, they don't even have a piece in mind. They just want to have that interaction, especially with not safe for work artists too. What if I'm already friends with the artist? Then that's different. Commissioner politely communicating the prices are beyond their budget, exclusively using pictures of Goku Dragon Ball. Oh my god. Yeah. But yeah, never be like, okay, now I commission this artist, now we're friends. No, that's not always the case, or not usually the case, actually. I do have, like, a lot of clients I've continued to, like, keep up with because I have genuinely, like, really nice conversations with them. But yeah, that is a good point. It is a great point. It's very, it can be very parasocial. Okay, this slide that we've been looking at, the focused. So say you have, like, a few commissions in your queue now, right? Let me bring up my thing again. Alright, okay, this just has bullet point things. So now you're getting a few commissions in your queue. That's awesome. And you're having trouble working on them. What do? What do you do at this point? Well, I brought up Pomodoro timers. So Pomodoro timers, it's essentially you work for 25 minutes. And then you take a break for 5 minutes. And then you work for 25 minutes, then take a break for 5 minutes, etc., etc., and you keep doing that. And that's how you keep track of the work you put into your commissions. Now, like I said earlier, Pomodoro timers are really good at keeping track of how long you take on commissions, and especially like apps and stuff that are Pomodoro focus timer, etc., etc. So you could see how long it takes to work on a commission and keep track of all that time. That can help with your focus a lot. I have ADHD. It takes a lot for me to keep focused, and I'm constantly having to change whatever methods I am using to keep focused. So there are a few different methods I have used. I refuse to not pay my friends for their art. That's good. So there's this thing. You guys are gonna laugh at my name for this thing. There's this method I have been using lately. I have a planner, and it shows each day, and I write down all the things that I need to do. And I use this technique using Pomodoro timers that I like to call the bar technique. And this is what I do. I make 16 little squares. I'm not counting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's just do 10. Normally I do 16. Because that's roughly 8 hours. Like an 8-hour workday. Maybe more like 7-ish. Because each one of these represents a Pomodoro. 25, 25, 25, 25, etc. Each one of these is 25 minutes, right? So the reason I do this is because I want to keep track of how much I work in one day. So I also use these to count for like my errands and my chores that I do in a day. So I usually set aside about 100 minutes, so roughly almost 2 hours, for errands and chores. So say it takes me like 2 hours to do chores and errands and stuff. So I turn down the stabilization for that buster. So I fill in the squares. And then I have a full, actually put 16. I have this much time. I have this much time to work on commissions and all that. So every time I finish a Pomodoro, fill that square in. Serotonin immediately to my brain. Finish a Pomodoro, fill that square in. Fill that square in. See, this is great because it's good at like figuring out how to manage your time. Because say you only have one square left because you filled out all of these, and you still have to do you have to cook dinner that night. So you can make yourself be like, all right, now I need to stop working, and now I need to cook dinner. You know? So this has helped me with my focus as somebody with ADHD. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. That is the nature of ADHD. That is one way to help. Another thing that helps me a lot is in my commission queue, I will have, here's one commission. Here, I'll represent it with a square or a rectangle. And then here's another commission. And here's another commission. Now, instead of just continuously working on this first commission in my queue, what I do is I do one Pomodoro, And then I'm like, all right. And then I do another one, Pomodoro for this one. And then I do another Pomodoro for this one. Sometimes I mix it up a little, spice it up. And I work. Oops. It's doing the thing. It's doing the thing. At least I'm not drawing anything like for real. Sometimes I'll like work on this until I get line art done. And then I send the work in progress to the client. And then I start working on this one until I get an answer back from the client like, hey, looks great. Ho ho! I'm Mickey Mouse for some reason. Ho ho ho! Disney's gonna sue me. Alright. So then, you get your answer, and then you come to a stopping point with whatever you're doing with this one, and then you go back to this one. And then you get to the next point, where you can send a work in progress, and then you go back. And then by this point, you're probably sending another work in progress. See, this is a good way to like keep your focus so you don't get burnt out on just working on one commission. And it's nice. Italian located. What? Pomodoro? I'm talking about Pomodoro timers. But yes. If anybody else has any stuff, any suggestions on great ways to keep focused on work, just like a big like general rule is kind of just treat it like you're clocking in when you use like some sort of app, like a timer app or something. It's a really good method. Thanks. Pomodoro is good. It's also just good to kind of like bounce around in your queue, like in whatever way that feels right that day. Because then it feels like you're getting multiple things done, if that makes any sense, instead of just continuously working on one thing. Another way that bouncing between different commissions is like helpful is that when you're staring at the same piece for so long, you start to become numb to it and not see the the imperfections in it. So it's good to bounce between commissions so you can stop looking at one commission for a bit and then go back and then see the imperfections in the other one. And make any edits that you need to. Oh, the pinch emote. Oh, it's on the same it's fine. This is just my silly fake PowerPoint. But those are good ways to stay focused. As someone with ADHD and also real bad anxiety, the squares don't help too much because I worry I'm not getting enough done per square. I understand that. I completely understand that. You really have to like hack your brain and be like, I don't know. You have to be like, okay, I got a square done. Yippee. If you were working that whole time or most of the time, you got a square done. And you should be proud. I love like sticker charts because it lets me plan stuff with less rigid time, but still keeps me in check getting stuff done. Yeah. Making a list and breaking things down into like smaller things. So like, say you have this full body piece that you need to get done within the week. So instead of just being like, get this piece done, you gotta be like, okay, today, do the sketch. And then do the liner. And then do the flat color. Cool. And just break it down into simpler tasks. That can help a lot. Lists can help a whole lot. Also, yeah, stickers are fun. Like little planners with stickers. If you make things fun, like planning things fun and exciting and colorful when you have ADHD, planning and planners and stuff can really help. Planners aren't for everybody, especially with ADHD, but you can make it fun You can make it engaging. And unfortunately, with ADHD, if you find a method that works for you, it's probably not going to work all the time. And you're probably going to have to change your method every so often, and it kind of sucks. Which is why I kind of like rotate between like a few different methods. That's why I have my method of like 1 Pomodoro, and then the next commission in my queue. 1 Pomodoro, next commission in my queue. 1 Pomodoro, and then I go back, and I go, all right, another Pomodoro, another Pomodoro, another Pomodoro, and I just go through that cycle. And then some days I'm like, nope, I'm going to do this until I do the line art. And then I'm going to send the work in progress. And then I'm going to do this until I get to the flat color. And then I'm going to send the work in progress. And then you just have to find what works for you, honestly. Everybody's different. Some people have ADHD. Some people don't. Some people just have focus problems. Some people don't. See what works for you. And now, I come to the last thing. Too many commissions. This is like late stage commission work. But one problem I see a whole lot with friends and just artists in general is that they have too many commissions in their queue. And I have a whole lot of advice for you for this. Now, as this happens, as you realize, oh shit, I'm getting too many commissions, what do I do? Raise your prices incrementally. Raise your prices incrementally. And you will get less commissions, but you'll be able to work on more. Like, that's the thing. Only take a certain amount of commissions and then close up shop. I'm not showing my visuals because I'm a fool. Yeah, raise the prices. Only take off what you can chew. Only bite off what you can chew. But another thing you can do, open for a limited amount of time, then choose from the pool of submissions what you can work on feasibly. You can do first come, first serve if you want, but what that ends up becoming is, this is a good thing. It's a good thing to have regulars, but what it can end up becoming is, you get the same few people every time and you're not able to expand your pool of clients. And when you have a pool of commissions that you can choose from, you can choose like newer clients so you can expand your horizons, you know, and get more people interested in your work. Expand your audience, if you will. But nearly at 2 hours, but I have reached the end of my document. I'm just gonna open, we're gonna say, does anybody have any relevant questions? Preguntas. Okay, I'm not gonna put that up because people are gonna be like, Pregante? Pregananats? No. But does anybody have any questions regarding commissions, taking commissions, that they may have missed, or that they didn't hear me talking about, regarding anything with commissions? Pregnant? No. I shouldn't have said anything. You don't have any relevant questions? Well, cool. Goodbye, everybody. Just kidding. But, oh, and that is my little presentation on how to take commissions, commission boot camp, if you will. All that jazz, all that good. I think this was a very thorough presentation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope you learned something. I hope. What have we learned? What have we learned, everybody? What have we learned? Connections, community, confidence, communication. These are the 4 C's of commissions. You have to make connections, you have to build a community, you have to be confident, and you have to keep communication open. You have to be completely transparent. That's the most important thing. Good presentation, well presented. I'm glad it was presented okay. I'm glad it was presented good. That is good. That is a good applause emote. I will for sure be sending the VOD to my art friends who are unsure of how to start commissions. Alright. Well, I'm gonna take a sip of water. What is the most... What... I'm trying to think. What is the biggest thing you have learned? Or has... What is the biggest thing God damn it, I can't talk. Hold on, let me take a drink of water. What is the most important piece of information you think you have learned? Like, what is your biggest takeaway? The biggest, most important thing I learned was invoices. Sweet! I'm teaching about invoices. Value yourself. Yes. Timing and pricing along with confidence. Yes. Getting some percentage of payment up front. Yes. Absolutely. I have known people who do not charge their clients until they get a sketch done. And I'm like, absolutely not. You are setting yourself up to get a sketch stolen. You are setting yourself up for that. Think scaling your prices to meet demand and keep your commissions coming from people who actually want to support you was super important. Absolutely. That is one of the most important things when it comes to commissions, I think, is like, it's not about the money. It's not like the money, it is about the money to a degree, but it is about being respected. It truly is. And if you are in the wrong spaces, you are not going to be respected. You are not going to be able to charge your clients fairly. You're not going to be able to price your artwork fairly because you are going to be around artists that are pricing their art at $15 to $20. And it's pretty ridiculous. Even as a client, I feel weird when artists insist on giving me a sketch before letting me pay them. Yeah. No, like, in that instance, I hope this presentation, this stream has, like, enlightened, because I know, like, most of you in the chat are probably, like, more in the client side. I hope this has enlightened you to, like, learn the best way to, like, commission somebody. Because if somebody is like, no, let me give you the sketch first, say, no, I will pay you before you give me the sketch, or at least partially. I've had clients before say, I'll pay half of it, and then once you give me the sketch, I'll pay the rest of it. And I'm like, that's absolutely fine. That's great. With regards to invoices, it's also important that you keep track of everything a person says they'll pay for, too. If they try to steal art and you keep receipts, they're in the wrong. Yes, absolutely, Skilvy. Invoices and prior agreements on things are important because I have no idea what I'm going to be getting paid for this oil painting I put over 200 hours into. Oh, Cass. That's a lot of money. 200, I can't even imagine spending that much time on anything. I'm gonna be real. Unless it's like a big game dev project. I feel like I might have put that much hours into Mixed Feelings. Probably. 20 square feet. That is enormous, Cass. That's insane. Wow. Holy shit. That's really dedication. Wow. But yes, please spread the good word of connections, community, confidence, communication. Connections, community, confidence, communication. Because, like, commissions, art in general, it's all about connecting. It's all about connecting to people. It's all about building connections. That's what art it really is. It's all about that. Regardless regardless of what kind of art you're making. You're trying to connect to people's experiences, right? You're trying to connect to their character, an environment. You're trying to relate to people. That's what it's all about. So you gotta make those connections. You gotta make that community. And you gotta be confident. You gotta value yourself. I think that's one of the biggest things I see a problem with is that's just a problem in general with artists, is like they don't value themselves enough. They don't value themselves. My issue was I have only 3 C's in my username, and I didn't have the confidence to get some paperwork done up front. Oh man. Shucks. Well, gee. But yeah, confidence is a big thing that artists tend to lack in, unfortunately, because I don't know, man. Like, artists are like, oh no, people aren't retweeting my stuff. I must be a terrible artist. And it's like, nah, you aren't. The algorithm is just evil. And it's really hard to get eyes on your work, man. That's like the hardest thing, is like, here's the thing. I got super lucky. Because I ended up snagging a really good job, a really good commission job because of my friend who runs a Mastodon server. And a ton of people are on this Mastodon server, and she got like a freaking spreadsheet of like 50 plus people that wanted a little chibi on the banner of this Mastodon server. And so I got 50 connections to 50 different furries off the bat. And that is how I jump-started my, like, career as a commission artist. Because I did that. And I made sure, because I was like, that's a lot of people. I was like, I need to make invoices. I need to make invoices for these people. Oh, see ya, Skilvy. We're wrapping up right now. I'm just ranting at this point. I'm gonna be referencing this video so much in the future whenever anything comes up. That's awesome. I'm gonna try, like, once I get my new PC built, which I have all the parts in, hopefully, I'm gonna see if there's anything missing that I need to get. Once I get that together, I'm gonna try and see if I can edit some more videos, because I definitely want to edit this down to something. But yeah. Value your art. Value your work. Value yourself. It's important. But definitely, the most important of all the four C's is communication. Not just for the sake of, like, being transparent with how, like, your timeline with your commission, but you want to, like, make a connection with your client. You want to provide a service. You want to have a good time with your clients. You want to work with them, not for them. This is so important, especially for, like, character design and concept art, is you want to build, like, an actual connection. Anyway, I should probably start wrapping up if nobody has any more questions or things to say about this. But let's, before you guys skedaddle out of here, let's watch that clip of the week. I'm pretty proud of this one. Pretty excited about this. This was clipped by, at least the first part was clipped by Bianca Asterisco, aka my friend Elliot. So let's, take a look.
Oh boy, just saw the tweet. Mochi just put it into the chat.
What's happening?
It says, in your restless dreams, do you see that town?
Oh.
The latest updates for the Silent Hill series will be revealed during the hashtag Silent Hill transmission on Wednesday, October 19th at 2 p.m. PDT. And then there includes a link.
They're probably gonna announce another pachinko machine. Or it's gonna be Team Bloober remaking Silent Hill 2, and it's gonna be awful. Norman Reedus. This is just whatever Silent Hill's protagonist. Holy shit! It's James! Oh, I don't like how he looks.
Waiting for
Oh my god, it looks good! Yeah, I want to know who's working on it. Oh my god! Ugh! No! I predicted the future. I predicted the future. It's great. It's awesome. Wonderful. Alright, a few more things before we get out of here. Latest Patreon anniversary has been... Oh, whoop. Wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. Saxon Fox, 3 years a patron. Thank you so much, Saxon. I'm so glad you've been supporting my work for 3 years. And if you would like to join Saxon Fox, you can type Patreon in the chat. And you could see cool stuff like this, which you already saw, concept art, and for like Mixed Feelings too. And if you have a sub, you can also join the Discord, Discord, and you can see all the concept art and time lapses and stuff as I post them in the Discord. Latest stickers are the Beastars in the Woods sticker set. It's just Beastars in the style of Night in the Woods. I really like this set, and if you like it, you can type stickers and you can grab yourself a set before they're gone from the shop. There's also Klonoa, Sly Cooper, and Mixed Feelings stickers in there as well as Gex, Spyro, and Croc, the reptile set. I love that. Last thing. This is Case and I scrubbing the stones in the lobby of the Kenosha Theater, which, if you don't know about the Kenosha Theater, oh, well, let me tell you about the Kenosha Theater. It is a piece of history built in 1927. What is the question? Is it relevant to the Kenosha Theater? It was built in 1927 by co-founder of Universal Studios. You may have heard of it, Carl Laemmle, and it is going to be turning 100. That is not relevant to anything. Gonna be turning 100 in 2027. So 5 years from now, this building is going to be turning 100, and there's going to be a fundraiser coming up November 17th. It's going to be like 8 hours. We're going to be playing Stardew Valley. You can donate to have funny things happen. You can make me do 50 jumping jacks on the spot, if you so choose. You can also make tail time happen, which is terrifying and exciting. You can have me drop the last item in my inventory. You can name a cat after you. All that good stuff. And that's November 17th. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. But without further ado, I must bid you all adieu. What is this? Damn it. Roll the credits. There we go. Thank you all for coming to my commissions boot camp. I'm going to be putting this up on my YouTube and maybe editing this down. We shall see. We shall see if I get the chance to do that. But shorter stream today, just because I got through everything faster than I thought I would. And I will see you guys Saturday for a really exciting stream. I'm going to be playing Faith Chapter 3, and I haven't played Faith Chapter 2 since 2019. And Faith Chapter 1 was the first game I ever streamed under Spoonie Plays, so that's going to be an exciting series to revisit. I know I have not seen anything from Faith Chapter 3, and I've been keeping it that way because I want my reactions to be genuine. Blind. Anyway, see you guys.